I was here till '82. That St. Augustine's was a boarding school at that time. It had day students too, almost half and half, but altogether the school had about 110 kids, first grade through 8th.
Deacon Don Blackbird, I'm the principal of the school. I went to school here from grades 4 through 8 and went on to high school at Bishop Heelan for 2 years, became a high school dropout, came back to school at Omaha Nation School in Macy and graduated valedictorian from there. At that point I earned a full scholarship to Wayne State College, went into education and ended up transferring to University of Nebraska-Lincoln, where I received my bachelor's degree, and then worked on my master's degree at Creighton University and graduated from there with my master's in elementary administration.
Way back when, I was one of those happy ones who had, we were 6 sisters, and we had, all the sisters were teachers. We had only two lay people, and everything was run by the sisters and the priest at that time. And that was 1989. And it was also the time when we bused children from here to Macy and to all the little areas around. So after school, we had to go on the bus. I was kind of like the supervisor on the bus, which was not an easy job. I considered myself being like patrol, but anyhow, that's what I did. But I was also the secretary for the school, and not only the secretary, but I was also the so-called, if the teachers couldn't manage the children or the children were playing up, they'd bring them to the office and then they'd stay with me till they quietened down, and then they'd come and take them back.
In 1987, I got a phone call from the personnel board of the diocese and asked if I would want to be pastor at Winnebago. And it took my breath away. I was like, really? Because my only real contact with it was when I was in college and the major seminary up in St. Paul. I would pick up classmates in Fremont, and we would drive up 77, and we always drove past the mission, and I always wondered, I wonder what that's about. What is that? So in 1987, I got a chance to find out what it was about.
Well, I feel that the school and the mission does have a place, and I think it's God's calling that we are here, and that it is needed. And for the future, I hope we keep on working together.
Well, besides just bringing a good education to our kids that really does equip them for the future, I really feel like our kids come out and they're prepared to kind of do whatever their hearts desire. And many of them do go off to get further education and even come back to use their gifts here on the reservations. And that's the biggest thing, because that's what produces hope, produces positive change, is when our kids feel like that anything's possible for them and that they can use their gifts and come back to help their people.
The mission of our school is, we're rooted in Catholic identity and Native American culture, and I think that we've made strides in both of those areas.
The mission only survives only from their help and their donations, and the monetary donations are very important for keeping the school going and keeping the mission in good shape, but also the physical needs the manual labor of donors to come. The groups are very important to us. They help us clean up the property. They help us do the painting around here in the summertime. We have groups anywhere from 5 people to 100 people.
Each one staying a week. Some college students, university students, high school students, and adult groups also.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of pride in the people here. They have a strong sense of who they are. Families are very close. And we definitely try to honor that in terms of our religious ceremonies. We try to include Native American symbolism in a respectful way. We also try to include that language and culture with our kids as well. If we don't do that, we're not doing our job as a school, because we want them to be proud of who God made them to be and the people that God has made them a part of.
So I think where we need to go with the school is to re-engage our Catholic identity, to form true disciples, strengthen our cultural program, and engage the family in both of those processes more effectively, so that they become, again, the primary educators and faith teachers of their children.
A lot of our kids a good number of them are 4th, 5th generation of people that went to this school, and yeah, they can talk about their parents going there, their aunt and uncle, their grandparents, their great-grandparents, and then you talk to people in town, they'll tell stories about how their parents and grandparents knew St. Catherine Drexel, who started the school, and the stories of even the boarding school days, even up until now. So a strong sense of the history. I'm sure you've gotten that today, for sure.
St. Augustine's was founded over 100 years ago at the request of the Winnebago people, because they knew that in order to survive and be successful in the Western world, they were going to need an education founded in the Western education system. So the people themselves sought out that education, and St. Catherine Drexel became the vehicle by which that education was delivered. So I guess St. Augustine's today tries to continue to meet that same vision that the original Winnebago and Omaha people had, and that St. Catherine Drexel had for the Native American people, that through a solid faith formation, a solid academic foundation, the people will grow to be successful, self-resilient, and capable of governing and serving themselves, so that they didn't have to rely on others to be successful, but that they would become the leaders that they needed for themselves. So we just try to accomplish a small part of that.
My hope for the school is that we'll educate more and more kids, that will give them even brighter futures, and that will continue the transformation of life here on the reservations. We want to be a beacon of hope. We're kind of up on a hill, like right above town, and we want people to see our school and say, yeah, there's a spot where we can always look to for hope and peace. That's what we want.